all of this started when I was quite younger.
Okay.
So growing up with my brother, my only brother, he was always like, he was so mean to me because he's older than me, and if I'm talking to him, it's like, shut up. You don't. I'm a boy. I'm your senior. And for people that forgive easily, people take them for granted. They know if they do this to you or they hurt you, all you're going to do is forgive them and pass. And they'll be like, okay, open leverage, I'll do it again. After all, she'll just forgive me. But the moment they see that when you bring that nonsense, I give it to you, there is literally nothing under the heavens that will make them want to annoy you again. Because they'll be scared. They'll be thinking back. If I don't get back at you, it will be bugging me. It will be any small thing you do. Let me say, I just forgive you, yeah? Any small thing you do, I'm like, you're doing it because I let you, and it will keep bugging me till I do you on.
Do you believe in karma? Abi, you are the karma.
I'm the karma. Is that how they say you should wait till the table turns? It won't turn. You need to carry your seats and turn around so you like do it yourself. You know, it might not get done the way you want it. So if you're waiting for the table, somebody like me, I derive peace from getting back at you. Because if I don't do it, I won't feel good. I'll always be so bothered. I won't have peace. I would literally not have peace of mind.
This is so out of place. But do you have anger issues? So we've all been hurt, betrayed, and lied to by loved ones and family. So sometimes revenge begins to look real sexy. So today we're going to be talking about revenge or forgiveness. By the way, my guest here is somebody who believes in revenge. So I'll let her introduce herself, then we'll get into the conversation.
Hello, everybody. I'm Riches Manoa, and I am so grateful to be here because this is my area of specialty.
Sounds very petty already. So, guys, before we decided to film this episode together, when I met Riches and I was asking that, we had a conversation and I asked her, are you the type that likes to forgive or do you like to revenge? And she said, vengeance. And I'm like, okay, maybe we should have this conversation on the podcast. And hopefully we get to strip down to the reason why you choose revenge over forgiveness. By the way, I'm somebody who, there was a time in my life where revenge looked like, the way to go, the perfect way to go. But now I know that peace of mind is very important and forgiveness, it is for me. But anyway, okay, so my first question would be, what happened? Because for you to make such a decision, there has to be a reason. There's always a reason behind everything. So what happened? What happened that you decided that revenge is the way you should always go with, anything?
Okay. So it's not like it's a specific event or it's just like, how several things keep happening. People keep hurting you and people keep hurting me, doing mean things to me. And then I'm always like, okay, we're taught like when they do this, just forgive them and slide off. And the next time I see you, I'm still going to have that thing in my head. But then if I get back at you, when I see you, I'm like, oh, I have peace of mind because I know that now you're not, it's 1-1. It's not like you have something over me. So it's more like taking control of that situation. So you don't have something hovering over me. So every time I see you, I'm like, oh, you did this to me, you did that. And yeah.
But if you forgive somebody, when you forgive someone, I think you just let go completely.
I doubt that.
Really?
I seriously doubt
so
that.
You believe that you have to take revenge first before you now
so it's to pay you too. So if we see each other, we'll be like, we have this understanding.
So you believe in tit for tat?
Yes, please.
So do you believe in karma? Abi, you are the karma.
I am the karma. Is that how they say you should wait till the table turns? It won't turn. You need to carry your seats and turn around so you like do it yourself. It might not get done the way you want it. So if you're waiting for the table.
But things don't always have to go the way you want it. That's the funny thing.
That's the problem.
I don't know if it's a Gen Z thing, but things don't have to go the way you want it.
We force it. We enforce it.
What's the best revenge that you have ever taken on someone? Let's start from there.
Oh my God.
Like somebody hurt you, did something to you, or betrayed you, and when you took that revenge back, it felt good.
Okay. So this happened. All of this started when I was quite younger.
Okay.
So growing up with my brother, my only brother, he was always like, he was so mean to me because he's older than me, and if I'm talking to him, he's like, "Shut up! You don't. I'm a boy. I'm your senior." And God, my brother has always wanted to be an aeronautic engineer right from when he was little. So then there was this time that one of my aunties got him this plane that he was using to practice every single thing. And then he was always like, all this aloof nonsense. I didn't like it. So one day I came back and he wasn't at home and I broke it. I hit it and I used a pistol or something. I was smashing. I feel so good when I was doing it because I knew when he comes back, he will feel how broken I used to feel every time he bullies me. Like he'll push me on the floor and the pain, everything kept building up.
So what did he do when he realized that you had broken his favorite toy?
We had an understanding. That
So there was no fights?
We did fight. I mean, for that, so now, till now that we're here, we keep making reference to it. But then from there, we had made an understanding that if you do this to me, I'm going to get back at you surely. So it's not like before that he knows he can just do anything and go like that. So he's aware that whatever he does to me, I'm going to get him back. And whatever I do to him.
So how did he take revenge after you spoiled his toy?
Yes.
And how did you feel?
I did it back.
So you guys kept going back and forth.
And we have been living like that for the past how many years?
Till this day. You guys can't be for real.
I just feel like there's satisfaction, like this satisfaction you get where you're like,
No, actually, to be very honest, there are situations where you need to take revenge.
Yeah.
Because some people see, some people can perceive forgiveness as weakness.
Yeah.
So I'm somebody that I like to forgive, but it doesn't mean that
you're weak.
I'm stupid.
Like that. Yeah.
So I'm forgiving you, but I'm watching out. But I might not revenge, but I'll definitely at some point call you out if it's something that you continue doing all the time.
Yes, and another reason why I would just like lay back on revenge is because every time, like for people that forgive easily, I live with such people. People take them for granted.
Yeah,
because most of the times they do, because they know if they do this to you or they hurt you, all you're going to do is forgive them and pass. And they'll be like, okay, open leverage, I'll do it again. After all, she'll just forgive me. I'll do it again, she'll just forgive me. But the moment they see that when you bring that nonsense, I give it to you, there is literally nothing under the heavens that will make them want to annoy you again. Because they'll be scared. They'll be thinking back, oh, no.
No, there's also another response to that. You can actually now have boundaries. That means that they don't have access to you. I think that's where a lot of people block people and cut people off. Even though it can be toxic sometimes, but you can actually create boundaries whereby the person doesn't have that kind of access. The person, if it was because the person was close to you, the person doesn't, can't get that close enough to do, all those things to you.
Okay, so what if in a case where that was all the person wanted to do, doesn't have any interest in coming close to you? So once it's done annoying you or pissing you off or making you broken, that is all. And then he leaves. So even if you have your boundaries, like, it doesn't matter to him.
Yeah.
The person has fulfilled what he came to do. In that case, you're the one that's left with the scar. And that person is just going scot-free. That's the point I always think from. So I need you to feel it so that next time, even if it's not just me, you go to somebody else, you would rethink and be like, nah, I shouldn't go like this because this might happen. So that's where I'm coming from.
But the truth is that, of course, there'll always be somebody that will pay them back. But for your own peace of mind, yes, to be very honest, revenge is very sweet.
Very.
But sometimes you regret after taking revenge. Like, you've never taken revenge on someone, then regretted it and be like, maybe I shouldn't have.
That's the only way I get peace of mind. If I don't get back at you, if I don't get back at you, it will be bugging me. It will be any small thing you do. Let me say I just forgive you, yeah? Any small thing you do, I'll be like, you're doing it because I let you. And it will keep bugging me till I do you on.
So that means you're somebody that revenge excites you.
Yes.
I'd like to know one of the best revenge stories you've heard that excited you, that you were like, yes, because I actually have one I'd like to share. Like when you hear it, you're like,
Yeah.
this is coming from a time when I used to love revenge, but you know.
Okay, so one that I have heard. So I had this friend, very close family friend, and she was in a very loving relationship. She loves this. They were planning to get married,
Yeah.
only to find out a few weeks to the wedding that her boyfriend had been sleeping with her cousin. Like they were in another relationship apparently. Yeah. I know her. They have been in another relationship apparently. So she was so broken because this is someone you have already started building a life with, like years of years. You've already started planning for it, and then eventually, she was crying and crying. She was just so broken. Till one time something led to another. She was trying, okay, when she decided, okay, let me let this go and try to go out and socialize. My life won't end because of this. She now found out that this guy in person, he had an uncle that was like not so old. All these uncles that they're like, let's say like 4, 5, 6, but they're still, he was not so old, like older than this guy, and they were close. But then he didn't know that he knew his nephew was getting married. He didn't know who. So this girl finds this uncle, and then she was telling my sister, was like that she wants to. My sister is more of the forgiving person. My sister was like, but it's not right. No. I mean, I told her go for it.
Wait, you don't have to go and date her husband to be his uncle.
She did.
And did the uncle marry her? No.
Oh yes, they did. I was so happy because the boy was so broke.
But no, like, come on.
He didn't know who he was marrying till when they came for the wedding.
And they, like, typical Nigerians will break off that relationship, like, realizing that another family member had dated that person.
Some people don't care.
Are you serious?
Some people really don't care. Like, he has fallen in love with her. Past is the past. So it's to him now. She's like, he was like, oh shit. Because why would you date my uncle and marry him? So it was lovely.
Wow.
That's the kind of sweet thing that I like. Anyway, so next time you wouldn't do that. If you see that kind of girl, or you see another girl, like, you would think, now let me not do this, because there's this thing that they say on TikTok, whether is it TikTok or say on social media, if he does one to you, get his father.
Okay, I think I've seen that one. Yeah. I've seen the one that they said if he hurts you, you turn his father into your sugar daddy, collect all the school fees. You use his school fees to go on private trips and shopping.
Let him call you stepmother. So those are the kind of things that it just makes me happy seeing them.
How about like revenge with, like, when it comes to friendships? Because I'm curious, I want to know how. I really don't know how the Gen Z people. I know that because of the way society is now, everybody's on their phones. I don't think you guys have experienced friendships as deeply as the generations before, like the millennials. Yeah.
So right now, our friendships honestly is based on social media.
Yeah.
Because me personally, in my life, I can count the friends I have, like the real friends I have, like on my finger, and it's not up to 10, and that's including my brother and my sister. And not up to 10. Majority of the friends I have, they're like social media, and we just talk because, oh, I know you from here, I know you from there. That's it. Like
no deep bonds.
No deep bonds, because nobody has. Honestly, Gen Zs, we don't have time for. Like, I can be your friend today, and then tomorrow I see another person, I'll literally forget that you existed, because that foundation is not there. Yeah. That's why you can see people like with like 8,000 friends, and then none of them have any strong stance. You see them with just probably like 1 or 2 real friends, and the rest of them are just flying through. So revenge in friendship is like Gen Zs, we just do. I can't remember. I go. I'm tired. I can't remember. There's really nothing that I've not really seen. Anything that you like.
No substantial bond to hold
exactly
it together.
That you want to revenge for, or because now, if this person is not that close to you and the person does something to you, I move on. After all, you didn't mean that much to me. So that's exactly how it is for us. Like, we cut people off instantly. I can just wake up to them like, I don't like these 10 people. I don't like how they look anymore, and I leave them. Yeah,
Crazy.
because there's a whole lot.
Mm.
Now, if you go on TikTok, you see people posting WhatsApp groups for people that want to make international friends. So why
Are
do
you
you need?
serious?
Yes, that's how people make some of their friends. So why do we need to be keeping friends? So you can just go on TikTok, make friends, make millions of friends.
Wow.
So
I think the difference is that, because this generation, you guys grew up at a time where phones were like
yeah,
the
yeah.
in thing. So it's easy to literally be alone in your house and have friends everywhere.
Mhm.
But us, the millennials, we grew up at a time where the bonds were that maybe your mom is my mom's friend, we live on the same street, we go to each other's houses, we know each other deeply. Do you understand? Sometimes you even know your friend's family
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
you know.
yes.
So like betrayal is harder that way. And even in those kind of friendships, there's like even friendship jealousy can be like, say for example, I'm your friend, then you have a new friend, and that could be
Yeah.
seen as hurt, and somebody would want to take revenge and maybe have their own friend. So
Mhm.
it's also very easy to for people in my generation to want to let go, because then again, because of that close bond, the pain is more intense. I don't know how to explain it.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, I
I
don't know if you
understand
get what
that.
I mean.
Yes.
So anyway, back to my own revenge story, the best one I've ever heard. Like it keeps ringing in my head. And one funny thing about revenge is, if for example somebody hurts you,
Mhm.
and every time you're thinking about that hurt without forgiving, you're kind of like multiplying that experience in your subconscious. That means somebody else might most likely hurt you, because now you're like, anybody that does anything to me, I'm going to revenge. That means you're always looking out for people to hurt you or do things to you where you have to revenge.
Mhm.
Do you understand?
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, but if you forgive and just let it go, just stay happy. I know it might not work for anybody, but then again, like I said, there was a time in my life where revenge was very, top on the list.
Number
So
one.
anyway, back to the best revenge story I've ever had. Like, and I like to tell this story to my friends, and we just like laugh about it, and I'm like, mm. So actually, it was on Twitter. The person that gave the story was on Twitter. At this point, she was already living outside the country. So she had this guy. They were dating. The families were aware that they were going to get married. It was a serious relationship. And then one day she gets pregnant, and her dad, who was also a man that was doing very well for himself, was like, okay, you guys have to get married. And, it was a no-brainer. They started getting ready to get married. They did their traditional marriage. And for some reason, the dad was like, you guys need to do court marriage. And by the way, by this time, the guy was doing very well. He was doing very well in business. He was quite wealthy for his age at the time. And the girl goes to her husband to be as like, okay, we should do court marriage. And the guy is like, no. And, she became helpless because her dad was like, you must get married in court, you know. So she, there was a lot of back and forth. She even had to involve the guy's family. The family, they were like, oh, he's an adult. We can't tell him what to do. If that's what he's decided for himself, we can't force him. And the guy was like, no way. And the girl wasn't working.
Okay.
Her father was upset, threatened to even like disown her or cut her off and everything, that she has to do the right thing. So apparently she got married to the guy. She was a stay-at-home mom. And probably fathers will always be fathers, by the way, good fathers or good parents. And the father saw that she was home. She had a degree, so the father kind of like went back, paid for her to do her masters, then got her a job. And she started working, started working. And at some point, she, grew through the ranks, and she was, promoted and now sent to go work in Canada, go to their Canadian office. So, she moves to Canada, and at some point, she needs to start, processing for her family to join her over there. So she processes for the kids, and in the process of, working stuff out for the husband, they're like, okay, the husband there has to be proof that they're married. So what's the proof? You need a court marriage certificate. And now the husband now needs to get married to her in court. And now the girl's father is aware. And the father is like, no way. you're not going to do that. Because, by the way, this guy got married to her, just left her to be a housewife. It was her father that came back and was like, when she was having babies or probably done having babies, you can't just sit in a man's house, sent her to do masters, paid for her to get certain certifications, and even got the job for her. So now, by this time, the guy wasn't doing so well anymore. Business had gone down, and all that stuff. And the girl was like, no, I'm not gonna get married to you in court. And the guy went berserk. You're very wicked, started reporting her around to family members. The same family members that said he's an adult, they cannot force him to do anything. But the same family members he went to tell that she's very wicked, that this one, she can't forgive, her heart is very hard.
I hope they also said she's an adult.
Nobody said she was an adult. Trust her. Of course, his family members, and the girl's father was like, "No way, you're not going to do that." And so she was now sharing her story on Twitter, and like I was going through the comments, and people were like, "Hope as you're writing this message is that you have left that man and you have gone to Canada with your children."
But she was able to take the children.
Of course, she was able to take the children because they had her name now.
Oh my goodness!
Yes, they had her name. She was able to take the children.
That's
but she never came out. I don't think Nigerian women. I'm sure I might not be totally correct, but society always has a way to pressure women, and I'm sure because she's a woman, emotions will set in. She will just let go and everything, and just say, okay, let him come over. But me, if I was the one,
come over, okay. That's actually very lovely.
You stay in Nigeria for 10 years.
What do you mean 10 years? Forever. You come by yourself.
You will stay in Nigeria for 10 years. Like, every time I think about that story, I'm like, sometimes people do things to people and feel like, oh, this person is helpless. Yeah. They can never, be in a place where I'll need them. And you just do. And most often than not, you would need those people in the future. Bro. There's karma. I doubt if karma really works. Because I've seen people who have done like horrible things to people
and it always
still have a good life.
Yes, yes. I always see that. I mean, in the society we live in, it is always mostly the people that hurt, the people that are at fault, the people that are wrong, they always live good. Yeah. You see them like living so unbothered, like
very unbothered.
Then is these other very people successful. that are now suffering the pains and everything. That's why I feel like the hurt people should just tell themselves, I am my karma. I am my karma. I'm not going to wait because karma might not. It actually might not. People need to get
But how about, okay, I'm talking from the fact that I have actually not seen. What if the karma has happened, but we are not just aware?
I haven't seen. Well, till maybe I see and the karma is convincing enough. Because most times it might just be like a little nip at the person's heels. It has to be something.
People might go through stuff and you don't know. How about that?
I don't know. As far as I don't know. as far as I don't know.
You must not know.
As far as I don't know, that means you've not gone through the karma.
Because I've seen a couple of tweets on Twitter where people say, move on. Yeah. God is not your village people. The person will not suffer and die because they did something to you.
Exactly. You know that most times, so this person possibly has done this to you and has gone to God in prayer.
Yes, that's what I wanted
God
to say. And God has forgiven.
And God has forgiven and given the person a clean slate.
But he's God now.
You have to
because if God was
and
man,
be the judge.
Everybody would.
I mean, you know how we misinterpret the Bible? So there's this particular place in the Bible I always misinterpret. And no matter how anybody corrects me, I will never. God said, vengeance is mine. So I have to take it for myself.
But you're not God.
No, but it's mine. So I have to be the judge right now that I can see the person. Because you go to God and God will forgive you. So what about me?
See, the truth about it is that, to be very honest, I feel like you're talking from a place where, no, I don't think anybody has hurt you. No. Seriously.
No.
Because if somebody hurts, I don't think you've experienced hurt.
I don't feel...
Because when you experience hurt, do you know the kind of hurt that somebody will hurt you and it will feel like you're carrying this building on your head, every day of your life? Because at the end of the day, forgiveness serves only you, to be honest. Do you know what it is when you see somebody and your pulse starts racing and your heart starts beating.
Okay, so what if
And
that?
you get angry because of something somebody did to you. I don't think that's a very good place to be.
But what if that's okay? So you see that feeling, that especially when you're feeling like that, and you see the person living a good life, it increases the pain. So somebody hurts you so bad that you feel like the whole world is weighing on you, and that person is laughing and crossing the road. No, 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 no. We have to be crying together. So that then probably at some point we'll laugh. Because I don't see how you be like, okay, you bear that body. Nah. I can't even picture it. I don't even want to. I mean, yes, I'm not saying forgiveness isn't good,
Yeah.
but I just feel like revenge.
But the Bible says that when somebody slaps you, you should turn the other cheek.
That was in the Old Testament.
I love it.
That was in the Old Testament. We're not doing that anymore. I mean, if we also want to still look at that, they said an eye for an eye. So still in the Old Testament, but yeah. So if you do this to me, I have to.
See, me, I feel like my peace is very expensive. I would not compromise my peace for anybody. There are people who have like done stuff to me and have, kind of like moved on from it. I don't necessarily have to be friends with you. We don't necessarily have to be in each other's faces, but we can be cordial when we have to see. Do you get? If I have to say I'm in a place where I have to help you, I could help you and just move on with it. But it doesn't mean you have to be my close person anymore.
Like from your perspective. I'm coming from a perspective where I'm somebody like me. I derive peace from getting back at you. Because if I don't do it, I won't feel good. I'll always be so bothered. I won't have peace. I would literally not have peace of mind.
This is so out of place. But do you have anger issues?
Yes, God.
Eh? Do you get angry?
I don't even get angry seriously. Like, okay, I'm more
I think trust me, it will change.
I'm more
You're still very young, don't
yes,
worry.
possibly.
You're still very young.
Now I'm still at this age where we just do things from the top of our head and stuff like that. But I still honestly, God. Except God helps me and I change along the line.
Because put yourself in the shoes of the people that hurt you. If, for example, you hurt somebody, because you could get to a place where you hurt somebody unintentionally.
That's different. No, that is totally different.
See, let me tell you, no, there are situations where it's unintentional, but the person sees it as something you did intentionally and refuses to forgive you.
Okay,
how would that make you feel?
That's that person's business, bro. So me, the only way I would want to get back at you is because if someone hurts me, I won't just, from how I was trained, my parents and I won't just jump and be like, okay, first of all, I want to find out why it happened, how it even happened, what even brought about this. And then through all those check-ins and stuff, and then I realized you actually did it intentionally. Like you wanted to hurt me.
Yeah.
There's a difference where I can find out, okay, that wasn't your intention. Because people might do something else expecting a different result, and then you don't receive it how they're giving it. That's not the message they wanted you to get, yeah? But then you just frame, because I mean everybody doesn't think alike. So that is a very different thing. But then if I find out that it was intentional, you actually wanted to hurt me, and that is where this vengeful spirit now comes up and it's like, now I have to get back at you.
They could have been intentional about hurting you at that point, but after doing it, they regretted it and they're sorry. And they're okay. How about somebody hurt you and comes back to apologize? Would you still revenge?
No.
Okay.
Depends. Well, no.
Depends.
I mean, so let's say you do something like that's really bad, and then come out, you apologize. So the apology will be like, it will now make it was 100% bad. Apology will now make it like 70, yeah. So I'll not have like 30 to do you back.
Anyway, I feel like the best revenge for me is your peace of mind, glowing up and being successful.
Yeah, yes,
like nothing beats that.
Nothing.
Because a couple of weeks ago, my cousin was giving me gist about, like, my cousin is in uni. She was gisting me about, this group of friends that she has, and she realized that they had a group chat where they were talking about her, but they were just friendly in her face. They were like, saying like stuff about her in their chats and all that stuff. And I said to her, so the best revenge is for you to be successful, regardless. It's for you to glow up. It's for them to see that you're a better person without them. You don't have to revenge. You don't have to, not want to be in the same space with them because,
well, that's still another type of, revenge is not always violence.
of course,
Isn't so there are like different types of revenge. It's not always violence.
Of course.
I just feel like you have to see it. You have to see it. That's the main aim, that you see that, So when you see it, you're like, oh shit. Yeah. So not necessarily a car will hit you or something, or I would put in a bad word and you fail at your job application. No, not necessarily that. There are most times that, okay, like in a case where probably you're with friends with people and they look down on you on something, and then you work so hard to get at the top and
of
then
your game.
Yeah. And then the next time they see you, they probably can't even talk to you directly. Now that is revenge. That's still revenge. That's a revenge plan.
Yeah.
So it's not always so physical, but there must always be revenge. You must always see it one way or the other. Like, okay, I'm not at this same place anymore, but bro, it has touch everybody. Yeah.
Do you have friends that you don't talk to?
Me. Nah.
Like, do you have people that were friends with you maybe because of one thing or the other, you don't talk to them anymore?
Yeah, yes, I do have friends.
So what happened? I'm curious.
It's just the particular friend that this happened. We're really close.
It's always the very close friends that hurt.
We're so close. And it wasn't even an issue that hurt me. She had an issue with somebody and this person kept looking down on her, abuse, and I'm your close friend. I can't stand that. So I keep telling you, this thing is not right. I don't like it. They're degrading you. This is not right. You're bigger than this. And then you're like, oh my God, no. You keep going back to that situation. So at some point, I was like, okay, let me take my hands off this. Yeah. You do whatever you want to do. I'm still your friend. We're still good. Yeah. Just do whatever you want to do. But I'm not in that situation, yeah. And then all of a sudden, I'm still like, if I see you passing, we're not as close as we were. If I see you passing, I'm probably like, oh, hi. And then all of a sudden, I don't know why, started giving me some pissy attitude. And
how did that make you feel?
I was actually very shocked because I was hurt.
Okay.
I was actually hurt. Then I just had to throw caution. I'm like, please, I don't have to be thinking about it, because even when other people were like, this girl is crazy because this kind of thing is happening to you, and they literally washed their hand out of your life and left. We still stayed. Yeah, we're not so close, but we're still good with you. And then all of a sudden you start acting up. I was pained. I was genuinely pained. And then I was like, you see this attitude? I will show you.
So did you show her?
I did.
You did?
Oh my God.
What did you do?
And funny enough, I have like probably if she sees this, I don't care.
Of course she will.
So let's say if I'm in a place where I know friends that are like position of power and they're supposed to get into that place. I'm like, don't let her.
You close the door on your former friend.
Sorry, let her stand outside for like, maybe let her stay for an hour. Because I still love her somewhere. So I'm like,
you have to change
for like an hour.
That's not a good.
I know, but eventually I grew out of it. That I saw myself helping the same person like few months ago. She was in some serious case that could have blown out of hand. And then I was now talking to the person. I was like, I know this girl. I don't know her anymore like that. But I was just thinking back on the person I used to know. Yeah. I'm like, I know this girl and something led to this. She's not like this. So I feel like I'm still growing. So the fact that I was able to do that means that I'm growing.
Did she know that you did that for her?
No, it wasn't eye service. So it's not her. She doesn't have to know. It doesn't have anything to do with her. I was just doing it because this girl was my friend at some point in my life. She was my really good friend. Somebody that would... honestly, our friendship breaking was was sad because this is somebody that would. She's very selfless. She
Mm.
would do anything for her friend. I'm having an issue. She's having an issue. She would leave her issue and come and stay with me.
So
I'm having
what changed?
she
Okay.
she started
Being
acting.
the nice person to the other people.
Not even she wasn't even nice. It's just like you know how you have just a certain amount of affection for certain people, and then the rest of the world sees like some monster. Yeah. So that was how we were because just like me, lots of people that are not my friends, they keep telling me that I'm mean, that this,
You're
that,
mean?
yes, people tell me a lot that I'm unapproachable, that this, that. But then
Unapproachable?
my friends
I
don't see
don't
me
think
like that.
so.
People that I talk to don't see me like that. So that was the same case. So when she started giving me attitude, I just had to banker for banker. I had to give her back. I feel like this my crave for vengeance. It's probably because I haven't seen a lot of things.
Yeah.
It's just
apparently.
it's just this minor and little things to
Yeah.
me right now that feel like they are big or they're major, but they're not actual life situations. Maybe when I grow older and
Life challenges setting.
maybe I'll tilt towards
Forgiveness.
forgiving and moving on. But I still have to be very clear that when I'm saying vengeance or revenge, it doesn't always have to be physical. There
Yeah.
are different ways of making people like an example of not so physical revenge. Reminding somebody consistently of what the person did to you and that you're above that now. That is
No,
all.
not. I don't think consistent. Okay, so you remind the person apologizes.
It's
If
not
you consciously remind the person, I
no
think it's a
not
toxic
like
thing.
not like you using like words of the mouth. Just how somebody does something to you and okay, you're supposed to stay in that state because you were totally destroyed. But the fact that they see you in a position that oh my goodness, she has gone way past my imaginations or what I didn't even think she could get there. And
Mhm.
you're like, I can't believe that's the same girl I did every single time they see, I can't believe that's the same girl. I can't believe that's the same girl. So if like 100 people knew about what that person did to you, and these 100 people see you at different intervals, and they're like telling people, "Bro, I just saw that girl. Like I just saw that girl." Like that alone, I feel like that's another way of revenge because. I mean, you're living your life, yeah.
No, that's still like the success revenge. So your
Yeah,
success is robbing.
it's still revenge.
Yeah.
It doesn't always have to be physical. There are various ways. Ojuju Calabar, so they're like,
Ojuju Calabar is jazz. Yeah, that's
so
it.
they're like various ways. So there are various ways of revenge. It doesn't have to be I blow you, I blow you. Nah, 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 nah,
Yeah.
nah. I mean, I didn't have strength. So
Me,
like I'm
I
blue
just
somebody
like
from.
for me, the best revenge is glow up and be successful,
Yeah.
and they will eat back their words.
Exactly. So that means we agree on that at least. It's
Yeah,
still
we agree.
revenge.
We agree on that, but like that whole pettiness of wanting to, do the you do me, I do you back
Well,
kind of thing
that
is
brings
not for me.
it brings satisfaction.
I feel like for me it's draining. Like me even having to sit back to think of what you did to me, then now have to plot revenge.
Most times you don't even have to sit back. Let's say you've forgotten about it, and then
Unless it's
an opportunity comes up.
like that's the thing. So even if when an opportunity comes, that means I have to still think about the past. Unless like the
Really?
revenge is taking place immediately, the person hurt you, you hurt the person back.
Mm.
But if it's something that has passed, water has gone under the bridge, it will take a lot of thinking.
That
And
one
literally you reliving that moment and feeling the pain all over again to now plot
Yeah.
revenge.
Yeah, but I just feel like for revenge that has taken time, you might move on with your life.
You should move on. Not
Okay,
have.
you will move on with your life, but there
Yeah.
are certain opportunities that can come, and then you be like, I remember this. Let me. And you don't have to think much. Just be like, maybe you enter some position of power.
It's not that deep.
It actually isn't, but that's when being petty comes in.
Well, okay.
Yes, for satisfaction. Period.
Okay, so for me, I feel like revenge is highest, and I know, see, the thing about it is that culturally, Nigerians love revenge.
Yes, yes.
Any Nigerian movie that does not have revenge
It's
in it
not
is not sweet.
Nigerian. The movie is not
People will be
complete.
angry.
It's not complete because
Everybody wants to
we
see
love to
revenge.
see that.
Yeah.
You do
That
me, I do
payback.
you, man no go vex. Exactly.
Yeah.
Everybody lives their life. So
Anyway, me, I feel like revenge is for the present. Forgiveness is for your future self.
Mm.
And I don't think like I said before, my peace is too expensive. Like, I'd
Yeah.
literally just put that energy into something positive, into, building myself and just being all around happy and just forgetting, leaving the negativity behind.
Yeah, that makes sense too. I have to grow into that, but for now, hold on to what I know.
Hopefully you do. And I really pray you do, because
hopefully I
it's so
will.
funny listening to, all your, talks about revenge.
Eventually, I actually have to let go of always
Yeah.
having to get back at people because you will realize that it's really not worth it.
No, it's not. It's not. Trust me.
Mhm.
Anyway, thank you so much for coming, Riches. I really
I
enjoyed this
appreciate
episode.
that.
I hope you come back.
Yes, I will. I will.
All right.
I will.
Thank you guys for watching. If you have watched up until this point and you have not subscribed, why? Click on the subscribe button. It's there. It's free. And don't forget to share this episode with your friends, and see you on our next episode. Bye.